Ashley Ward, the 6'1" junior out of Springdale, Arkansas. And Savannah Enlow, I believe, is getting a start. A very good three-point shooter, a 5'6" junior. Savannah out of Georgetown, Indiana. So the Ravens and the Vikings, they've had some good ball games. You brought up that postseason game a couple of years ago, and let's see what happens tonight in the early season.
Well, you know, Ken, I'm looking on the Benedictine roster. A girl I mentioned a minute ago, Allison Wallace. She's a 6-foot freshman. I wonder if she's a sister. Is it Macy Wallace that plays for Baker?
Yeah.
The big girl inside for Baker, who's a very good inside player.
I don't know if Allison's injured. She's not playing tonight, so she may have an injury, but she's not out there tonight. All right, the Vikings in their white uniforms with the orange trim. And glad you can be with us on Stretch Internet for the audio and on livestream.com for video. And here we go. The Vikings and the Ravens, a doubleheader tonight from the Burns Center, Grover C. Redford Gymnasium. Now the scoreboard goes out.
Yeah,
just as I was all pumped up, I was ready to go.
You just
the
had
opening
your
tip
segue right into
boom.
what you were going to do. And yep. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Had a good Thanksgiving. Put up a lot of Christmas lights in the dark, but other than that, we did all right.
The big question, did you get plenty to eat?
Yeah.
That everything else is secondary.
Plenty to eat. All right, now we're ready to go. And the 30-second shot clock's working. The 10-minute first quarter game clock is working. And now what do we have? Lights that aren't on?
I think one of the officials' hair is messed up, maybe. Okay, so.
Well, and we have half the athletic department is in Florida with the men's soccer team, by the way, won today, so we'll talk about that. So I think we're ready to go. And in the center jump circle is Jordan Kramer, or rather Rutledge is in there against Horton. We're underway. Vikings with it, and here's Deidre McCoy. Quickly into the forecourt, leaves it off for Augusto. Augusto working that left side. Now fires it down low to Horton. Drives inside, off the glass, won't go, but she traveled, so it is a turnover on the first play of the game, and here come the Ravens.
Coach Tim Dixon just yelled out at one of the officials, that's illegal right off the bat. I'm not sure what he was talking about, but the ball had just barely been tipped, and Coach was already on his feet.
All right, here come the Ravens on the first drive. Driving in, the little gal from St. Joe, Allie Tapp, takes it left side, and at 5'4", goes right to the basket and scores at 2-0. The other way, Ward spins in the lane off the glass too hard, and the rebound is pulled down by Villegas. Villegas quickly into the forecourt to Taft. Taft stops, goes top of the key. And gives it off there to Kramer. Kramer swings it around to the wing, left side, three-pointer up and good by Villegas, and it's quickly 5-0 Ravens with the lead.
Well, I mean, that's two very quick buckets for Benedictine. Vikes need a bucket this time down the floor.
Here's a lob down low. They give it on the low block to Horton, who throws it into the backcourt, an unforced turnover, and not a real good start for the Vikings here, Joe, the first minute and 4 seconds.
No. Bad turnover right there. Just a little bit of miscommunication on that pass, but it's still very early.
So the ball comes back to the Ravens. They are jumping out to an early lead here on the road. Taft gives it top of the key to Villegas. Back out front, another three on the way. This one is good by Kramer, and it is quickly 8-0 Ravens with a lead.
That was a good play that time. Kramer came off a pick at the head of the key, got her feet set and drained, and that's the second triple for Benedictine.
Ward now looks down low and gets it into Horton. Horton turns, lowers his shoulder, gets to the basket and scores. Left side, spun back to her left and laid it in with the right hand. The Vikings needed that bucket in the worst way. It's 8-2.
Against this veteran team, the veteran Kiana Wharton is going to have a good game for the Vikings tonight, the All-American.
Head and shoulder fake, driving the right side, shot up, no good. But a foul is going to be called on Horton as Murphy took that shot, faked the three, then drove the baseline right side, put up about a 12-footer and fouled by Horton.
I think Murphy had an older sister that played for this team, didn't she?
Yeah, this is a veteran group, and there's certainly some familiar names. First free throw is up and off the front of the rim, and no good for Murphy. Second one is also no good. Fight for the rebound, and it comes away to Murphy. Gets an offensive rebound after missing both free throws. Murphy now has it. Guarded by Ward. Skip pass to Rutledge. Rutledge drives in a double team. Goes baseline and throws it away.
Good job by the Vikings. That time Rutledge tried to drive off that right wing. The Vikes double teamed her. She tried to force it to the baseline and flipped it out of bounds. So good D by Missouri Valley that time.
So McCoy now will inbound it. And she gets it into Savannah Enlow, playing the point, at least to start this game, against the Raven man-to-man defense. Deidre McCoy on the wing, top of the key. Now they give it back to McCoy. McCoy. Augusto for three. She rattles it home. We talked about her shooting percentage, almost 68% from beyond the arc, and she's 1 for 1 in this game.
She might be over 70 now.
It's 8-5. And now the Ravens almost throw it away. Taft trying to get it to Rutledge. Diving for the loose ball was Deidre McCoy. What's new there? It knocks it out of bounds. Good hustle by the young lady out of Arkansas, the 5'9" sophomore.
Deidre got off to a rough start up at Graceland the last conference game before Thanksgiving. Before she made up for it late in the game, made a couple big plays in that Viking win.
Rutledge swings it out top. Now they work down low, and there's a foul going to be called on Augusto as she was matched up man for man with Kristen Murphy, and Murphy has quite a height advantage. She's 5'11", and Augusto just 5'6". Augusto picks up her first foul, and that also will be a shooting foul.
Well, good job that time by Benedictine getting the ball inside. And boy, Murphy misses. She's 0 for 3 from the stripe here to start the game.
Left-hander, couple of dribbles, spins it, fires, and 0 for 4. As she missed them both. And now Horton throws it away. She gets the rebound. And here's the shot up. No good. This shot taken by Villegas. Missed it. Horton with yet another rebound. Quickly Augusto into the forecourt. Top of the key to Enlow. Enlow with a left-handed dribble. Lobs it down low to Horton. Kiana drives inside. Kicks it back to McCoy. McCoy drives baseline right side all the way to the basket. Has that one blocked. It comes away to Enlow. Enlow gives it off to Ward. Back to Enlow. 3 on the shot clock. Enlow forces one up from 15. Hits the rim. Doesn't go in. And the rebound pulled down by the Ravens. And here comes Taft the other way. 8-5 Ravens with the lead. Skip pass back to the left to Murphy. Murphy lobs it down low. Villegas gives it free throw line. Rutledge, and she scored. Nice job by Villegas to find the open gal. It was Rutledge wide open 15 feet away. Knocked it down 10-5.
Yeah, Villegas drew the double team and then found Rutledge wide open in the middle of the lane. So good ball movement by the Ravens.
Haley Beard to McCoy. Back to Ward. Might have gotten away with a walk. Now a hack on the wrist. And the foul is going to be called on Villegas. Her first. And that's just the first foul on the Ravens. 6:08 to go in the first quarter as they bring Haley Beard, the 5'9" junior, into the contest, and also Sage Ballman, a 5'11" freshman.
You know, the Vikings might want to take that ball into Kiana Wharton. She's got Rutledge on her, get her in foul trouble.
And they get it to her this time, but she misses the shot. Taft sneaks in to get the rebound. Quickly brings it up, gets it back, fires a three, got it, and there's, I believe, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Taft has 5, and it's 13-5. Enlow top of the key. This team's been busy. The Vikings were in Texas over Thanksgiving, played a couple of exhibition games. Augusto dribbles in the lane, back out to Enlow for 3 off the heel of the rim. Rebound Rutledge. Taft is ahead of the pack. Goes in, right-handed layup. Good, it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, Allie Taft that time just beat everybody down the floor. She took off when the shot was launched on the other end by the Vikings and got a couple steps and a nice lead pass. And, well, she's got 7 points in the game already.
Well, I agree with you, Joe. I think the Vikings have to try to get that ball inside every time, at least go through Kiana Horton. Augusto has the 3 as we see Raina Smith, the 5'7" senior out of St. Louis, check in during this timeout. But a great start by the Ravens. You go on the road, long bus trip from Atchison, and warm up, and here you go, a 10-point lead. Coach Folsom has to be happy with this start.
Well, and I think the secret so far are the Ravens 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and 3 different girls have hit three-point shots.
Coming into this game, the Ravens, they're not a bad shooting team. In fact, they do shoot 41% as a team from beyond the arc, led by Rutledge, 24 out of 10 out of 24, And then Kramer is a very good outside shooter, 24 out of 51, 47%. So they will put up the threes.
Well, they beat Peru State at home 75-58, but then they dropped a 2-point decision to Culver Stockton at their place, 74-72, right before Thanksgiving.
Little trap put on by the Ravens. The Vikings break that trap. Ward has it. Now they trap her. Skip pass back to the right side to Augusto. In the lane, Raina Smith loses the ball. It is picked up by the Ravens. Sage Ballman, who just came in. Ballman gives it off to Thomas. LaRonda Thomas now in front of the Viking bench. Another three. This one's going to be off the back iron. Fight for the rebound. Horton hits the deck along with Ballman. Tied up. And the possession arrow should indicates the ball will stay with the Ravens. 4:55 first quarter. LaRonda Thomas will inbound it. I think I'm going to like this Wednesday-Saturday combination, Joe.
Gives our voice an extra day to rest up, doesn't it?
It just seems, give it a couple of days. Oh, strong move, Rutledge. Good job by Deidre McCoy. Didn't give an inch and made her take a really tough shot, and it didn't go down. Augusto's used the dribble. Inside it comes to Horton. Backs into the lane. Scores and a foul. I think that came right from the Joe All coaching clinic, right?
Yeah.
Back her down and get her in foul trouble.
You've got your All-American, Kiana Wharton. Let her go. Let Rutledge try to stop her down low. You know she's going to pick up some fouls, and she just got, I guess, that foul comes up instead on
Haley Beard
instead. But Rutledge will get her share if we keep taking it inside.
Kiana has 4 points. It's 15-7. Trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Does. And Kiana Horton has 5, and it's 15-8. 4:41 to go. First quarter. As LaRonda Thomas into the forecourt. Gives it out front to Ballman. Swinging around to the left wing. Back out top. Good ball movement by the Ravens. Driving right side. Foul away on the drive. As driving to the basket was Kristen Murphy, and she was fouled. That is the third foul on the Vikings. Again, in this new rules, you reset the team fouls at the end of each quarter.
That foul comes up on Raina Smith. That's her first.
So the Ravens with possession. Fired down underneath. Ball knocked away. Good save by Thomas. Gives it back out front. Another three on the way. This one rattles in and out. A good rebound by Horton. She went out and grabbed that one. Quickly, Augusto down. Drives the middle. All the way to the rack. Shoo! She lays it up. No good. Ward with an offensive rebound. Dribbles out of the lane. The Vikings will reset with 3:55 to go here in the first quarter. Give it around to Raina Smith, right wing. Raina drives baseline through a double team. Throws it up. Hits the side of the backboard, and I think she tipped it out of bounds.
I think Raina felt there was some contact there. She went through the double team, and I think she felt like there was a little bumping. I would have to agree with her, but no call, so the ball goes back to Benedictine.
Well, the men's game to follow. I see the Ravens are out watching this one. And big game for the Vikes tonight. They're 0-2 in conference play. One loss at home to William Penn, by the way, is 8-1 overall, and then lost at Grayson last Saturday. Top of the key, another three on the way. This one rattles off, no good. Offensive rebound, put back, no good, as Parker missed a wide open putback.
You know, I was very impressed by that William Penn men's team, and they came in here for the opening game of the conference a couple of weeks ago.
They were talented. Raina Smith, free throw line, kicks it off into the corner. Augusto for three. This one pinballs out. Rebound pulled down by Serena Parker. Parker, quick outlet. You can hear Coach Folsom go, 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 go. They want to run. Into the corner, launching another three that's no good. Ball out of bounds. Should last be touched, I believe, by the Ravens. It was Ballman.
I don't think that three-point line intimidates any of these Benedictine players. They all set those feet behind the line and let her fly.
All right, Lindsey Denny, the 5'11 junior, comes in for the Vikings. Also, Alicia Winston, the 5'11 senior, checks in. Julia Vasquez comes into the lineup.
Maddie Murphy also in there.
And Murphy's in. So 4 out of the 5 who stayed on the floor. Raina stayed on the floor. Yep. Coach Dixon going to his bench.
Well, both teams have a lot of reserves in the lineup right now.
2:50 to go in the quarter. Maddie Murphy gives it off to Raina Smith in the backcourt. Off to Vasquez. Julie's got to get across that timeline. Didn't get there. Well, when they threw it to Reyna, she held on and looking for someone. No one, Joe, came to get the ball, and Reyna had to throw it into the backcourt, and that resulted in a 10-second.
You know, that 10-second rule, that's a relatively new rule in women's basketball. It used to be you could take the entire shot clock time in the backcourt if you needed to, but not now.
Not now. Ballman, baseline. Give it back out front. Winston, pretty good defense there. She covers Parker. Off to Ballman. Ballman works to the right side of the free throw lane. Back top of the key. 7 on the shot clock. They'll take the 3 from there. Won't go. Offensive rebound put back up. Missed. Another offensive rebound. This one back up and in by Serena Parker. 17-8, a 9-point lead. It's kind of a small Viking lineup in there right now. And now Denny is double teamed, bumped, hits the floor, and a foul is going to be called. That'll be the 3rd foul on the Ravens.
That was a nice tackle that time by Paige Ballman. She got her arms wrapped around Lindsay Denny, and good form on that tackle.
Vasquez baseline, now stops the dribble. Julie out of Earth, Texas. Out to Murphy. Murphy, a little point guard. Swings it right side to Smith. Reyna holds it above her head. Goes baseline around the screen by Winston. Goes underneath and may have stepped out of bounds. Good screen on that baseline by Winston, but as Reyna tried to go around it, stepped out of bounds. So she's going to check out, and Enlow back into the ball game. Savannah Enlow.
Yeah, Reyna tried to go with her right hand. She's normally left-handed, went with her right hand, got around the first player, but then got the ball banged up against her leg out of bounds.
So here come the Ravens leading 17-8. They've had a nice first quarter. Low block, shot is up, no good. Good defense by Denny, rebound Winston. Murphy hustles across the timeline with 1:23 to go in the first quarter. Free throw line, double teamed, almost walked with it. Back out to Enlow. Ravens staying in their man-to-man defense. Murphy, pass down low to Winston. A little jump hook from the baseline, won't go. Crushing the boards and picking up the rebound is Haley Beard. Beard right to the hash mark in front of us. Now leaves it baseline left side. Head and shoulder fake. Work it underneath. Reverse layup up and good. Nice pass by Beard as she got it underneath to Murphy and her first 2, and it's 19-8. Largest lead now, 11 points for the Ravens.
And Ken, the Vikings just really not shooting very well right now.
Into the corner, Denny. Back out front it comes to Enlow. There's the lob underneath to Winston. She's double teamed, gives it back to Enlow. 7 on the shot clock, Enlow. Free throw line, skips it in the corner to Denny. Head and shoulder fake, drives inside, puts up a fade away from 8. Won't go, missed everything. Rebound Murphy. Murphy quickly off to Thomas. Thomas underneath, knocked away by Denny, but a foul on Denny as she fouled Ballman. I'll tell you, these Ravens get up and down that floor in a hurry, Joe.
Well, I tell you, they like to pack that ball inside. Yep. They've got good size, and they're doing a good job of hitting the open girl down low. And Mike's getting a little bit of foul trouble right now. That's, I guess that's 4 fouls this quarter, but the quarter's almost over. And we restart the count at the second quarter.
Here's Ballman's free throw, good. And that is her first point. They're just 1 out of 5 from the line. Murphy missed all 4 of hers. And see, normally a pretty good free throw shooting team, 75%.
Rutledge and Kramer come back into the Benedictine lineup, as does Allie Taft.
20-8, a 12-point lead here in the first quarter. Ballman's second free throw also good. It's 21-8. A nice quarter. This team, Benedictine, averages 77 points a game. The Vikings, Joe, averaging 85 points a game.
That's pretty good.
That's real good.
Especially for a women's team.
Yep.
I mean, the girls can shoot just as well, but usually the girls' averages aren't quite that high. So the Vikes doing a great job.
Here is Deidre driving inside. Oh, that thing pinballs in and out as McCoy thought she had the left. 7 seconds to go. Taft fakes the 3, goes free throw line. Here's a 3 on the way. It's good at the buzzer. Haley Beard hits a 3. That's the 4th triple by Benedictine. Wow. And they are up 24-8. That's a heck of a quarter.
It really is, and you mentioned 4 triples and 4 different girls. Allie Taft had one, Haley Beard had that one, Jordan Kramer had one, and Lexi Villegas had one. So they've spread the ball around. Leading the scoring for the Vikings so far, Kiana Wharton with 5. She has 5, and Andressa Augusto hit a triple. That's been it offensively.
That's it. So, again, we don't have the first quarter stats, but 3 field goals. So, you know the shooting's not that good. Do we have a field goal percentage for the first quarter for the Vikings? We'll go get that here. Andy Polverenti, who's going to be heading to the beaches of Florida Friday morning to watch the men's soccer. But we'll make him work tonight with us, right?
Yeah, he'll be real.
They shot 47%, 21%. All right, the Vikings 21% versus 47%. Yeah.
Next time we see Andy, he'll have a nice tan. He'll be all relaxed.
Yeah, all relaxed down there at the beaches. And hopefully he'll be there a couple days because hopefully the Vikings will play in the semifinals and also the finals. We'll talk about that as we go along tonight. Vikings won today as they defeated Rocky Mountain, Montana 3-0. So they have won their first 2 matches there and will take on number 1 Rio Grande, Ohio, Friday at 3 o'clock our time.
Well, you're right. This Viking women's team, they're averaging 85 points a game. That's pretty impressive. I know they put more than 90 on the board in their win on Monday night, so they're really getting her done. And I think the thing that impresses me about this team is their depth.
Yeah. They have, and all the way up and down, they have a lot of players in that 5 to 6. In fact, this Enlow 6.6 points a game. Raina Smith 6.6. Vasquez 6. Winston 6. Then you have Augusto 16-4. McCoy 11-8, Horton 10-8. So a lot of good score, a lot of balance up and down. Let's see if the Vikings can turn it around here in the second quarter.
We've had several games where 11 or 12 different players have scored.
I think 15 scored in that game over Central Christian on Monday night. Here's Matty Murphy, the point guard, at the top of the key. Matty still with the dribble. He's it off to McCoy. High post to Denny. Denny in the lane. Better get out of there. And she gets it to Murphy. Murphy drives in. Scoop shot won't go. Rebound Rutledge. So the Vikes shooting 21% in the first quarter and now about 20%. As Ward ready to come back in. Horton's coming back in. So is Augusto. But the Vikes are down by 16 early in this game. Raina Smith will come in as well. Here's a steal as Enlow takes it away. Enlow quick to McCoy. Drives left side in the lane all the way to the basket. Puts it up no good, but she was fouled. And I believe that foul is going to be on Villegas, her second. That should put McCoy to the line.
I wonder, I have no idea. I just wonder if maybe Deidre McCoy had several brothers, because boy, she is physical. She looks like a gal maybe had to fight her way up through the years. You know what?
Well, they called the foul on Sydney Kreitzer. So Kreitzer picked up the foul, her first. And the free throw is no good.
This is the first free throw.
The Vikes are 1 out of 2 from the line.
Vikes need a run right now.
Yes, they do. Down by 16. You don't want to get this thing against a very good team. You don't want to get down any further than this. Let's see if McCoy can knock this one down. This shot is on the way. Got the second one down. That's her first point. And it's 24-9 with 9:17 to go. They still have 8 up there on the scoreboard. There they put the point up. Mike's working defensively, playing looks like a little bit of zone here now. As they skip it out front to Taft, into the corner. Villegas drives baseline, puts up an 8-footer, no good. In fact, it was an air ball, rebounded by Raina Smith. Quickly ahead to Augusto. Andressa slows down the pace at the top of the key, behind the back with a dribble. Looks for help, skips it in the corner to Raina Smith. Smith gives it back out to Augusto. Back to Raina in the corner. Out front, it goes to McCoy. McCoy a couple of dribbles now. She'll give it back to Raina. Raina Smith with 5 on the shot clock. Goes to the free throw line, has to put up a tough shot off the glass, won't go. Rebound Rutledge. Rutledge not only scores 17 a game, has 5 rebounds a game. She gives it off to Taft. Taft swings it around, left wing, Kreitzer. Back out front. They go to Kramer. Here's a shot from the corner that won't go. They've cooled off from outside, almost take it away again. But it's picked up by McCoy. Here she comes down the middle, flips up the shot.
Oh, yes.
Scores it as foul.
Yes. Nice strong move that time. Deidre McCoy went up amongst 2 girls inside, got the roll, fouled, a chance for the bucket and one. And that That's what the Vikings need right there, Ken.
Deidre McCoy scored the last 3 points. She's back there again. The foul was on Villegas, her second. And the second team foul of the quarter on the Ravens.
Deidre averaging 11.4 points a game.
She's 1 out of 3 from the line as that one rolls around and falls off. Kreitzer to Taff at the top of the circle. Gives it back to Kreitzer. Kreitzer, here's a long three, top of the key, off the heel of the rim by Kramer, no good. But Taff with an offensive rebound. Back to Kreitzer. So the Ravens get another offensive rebound. Rutledge skips it off into the corner. Villegas will try an outside shot. It won't go. Raina Smith with the rebound. They certainly have cooled down. Quickly head to Ward. Ward 2-on-1. Takes it all the way to the rack. Flips it up at the right side and is fouled.
Well, you see the Vikings starting to get a little bit of momentum right now. Benedictine really starting to cool off from the outside. They were on fire during the first quarter, and now some of those shots are starting to miss. And Vikes doing a good job driving to the bucket right now.
Kreitzer picked up the foul, her second. As coming back in will be Kristen Murphy. As the first free throw is good by McCoy. Or rather, excuse me, by Ward. Ashley's first point, and it's 24-12. Next one on the way. This one is no good. Rutledge corrals yet another rebound. Off to Taff. Taff directing traffic against McCoy. Free throw line. Goes baseline. Ballman's open. That one kicks in and out. So as hot as they were early, they've cooled off. And the Vikings quickly get it to Ward. Ward left side in the lane. Kicks it back out to McCoy. Her jumper, no good. Horton gets an offensive rebound on the baseline. Back to Raina Smith. Out to Augusto. Augusto works with a left-handed dribble. 7 minutes to go in the half. Underneath, nice spin move by Ward, and she scores, taking it down the left side baseline.
And the Vikings, again, Ken, doing a very good job of taking that ball to the basket right now against this Raven defense.
Valley's outscored the Ravens 6-0 in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. Ballman, top of the key. Raina almost had a steal. Baseline, high arching shot, no good. Augusto, good block out in the rebound against Ballman. Augusto gets it underneath, now throws it away as Taff steps in the passing lane to take it away. 2-on-1. Taff underneath the Ballman. It's knocked away by Augusto. She gets it to Rutledge, who misses a shot just inside the free throw line, and Horton with a rebound.
You know, Rutledge has been pretty quiet so far for Benedictine. The leading scorer, averaging almost 18 points a game, has only 1 bucket so far.
Horton gives it to Ward. 6:11 to go in the half. Vikings have clawed back to within 10. Let's see if they can cut it to inside double digits. Horton inside the lane. Her shot off the glass, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Ballman, and a foul away from the ball.
Deidre McCoy, I think, is going to get the foul. That'll be Deidre's first.
And that's the first foul of the Vikings of the second quarter. Rutledge checks out again. Also back in is LaRonda Thomas.
Well, you like to see the Vikes down by 10. Like to see them make a little run here at the end of this quarter. Get back within 4 or 5 by halftime.
Thomas gives it back out front for Kramer. Now they work at baseline. Give it back to Kramer. Kramer goes baseline. Fake the three. Now drives inside. Is Murphy off the glass? No good. Offensive rebound. Back to the top of the key. Driving to the right side is Thomas. They'll skip it into the corner. Here's Murphy again driving in. Bumps into Augusto. No call. Misses the shot. And it's picked up by McCoy. McCoy out front to Augusto. Augusto off to Raina Smith. Raina holds it high. Now tries to get it in to Ward. Ward spins in the lane. Gets it off to Horton. Her 7-footer. Ooh, off the heel of the rim. No good. And the Vikings just can't knock it down. The couple trips to cut it inside of 10. Here's the baseline, long shot, good by Kramer, her second triple, and the lead back to 13, 4:56 to go here in this first half.
Go figure, Benedictine scores 24 points in the first quarter. Over half the quarter goes by, and that's their first bucket of the second.
Now almost a steal as Murphy steps in front of Ward and knocked it out of bounds right in front of the Benedictine bench.
Lindsey Denny comes back in. Deidre McCoy takes a seat for the Vikings, and also coming into the lineup for the first time, Ashley Onaka Ashley is a junior out of Blackman's Bay, Tasmania.
I've never been there.
I know I haven't either. I'd like to go sometime. Maybe we get Andy to take us on his trip to Florida. He can drop us by Blackman's Bay.
4:40 to go in the first half. Augusto baseline, little push up. Didn't pull up the shot. Now she loses the handle on. Ball goes out of bounds, but it was last touch by Loranda Thomas. So the ball belongs to the Vikings. Fresh 30 on the shot clock as they ruled that Thomas, I guess, had possession of it long enough to reset the shot clock. Raina Smith with a left-handed dribble, 4:26 to go in the half. Smith, one-on-one, takes it free throw line. Gives it off to Anako, drives inside and missed it. Rebound pulled down by Parker. Long pass ahead to Kramer. She's hit a couple of threes. Top of the key, another three, and this one by Parker. Her first triple, and all of a sudden the lead is back to 16, 30-14.
Serena Parker, a freshman out of Shenandoah, Iowa, buried that triple.
Raina Smith, right wing. Off to Anaka. They lob it inside to Winston. Winston, double team, kicks it back to Augusto. 8 on the shot clock, back to Winston on the baseline. Gives it back to Augusto. She'll drive baseline. Underneath to Denny, puts up the shot, and she is fouled with maybe a half a second on the shot clock.
There wasn't much, and I don't know if Lindsay could have gotten that shot away ahead of the shot clock buzzer or not, but it doesn't make any difference. She was fouled, and that foul is going to come up on Ballman, and that's her second.
So her second foul, 3:34 to go.
Denny misses the first one.
Murphy will come back in, Maddie Murphy, and Raina Smith will leave. And let's see if Denny can knock this down. She does, and she'll have another one. Or she makes that one, missed the first one, and made the second one. I was looking at my scorebook. 30-15, 3:31 to go. Ravens have led really throughout. They went out to an 8-0 lead, and they have led throughout. Had a 24-8 lead at the end of the first quarter, leading now 30-15 with 3:19 to go in the first half. Ball knocked away and taken away by the Vikings. Adako with the knocked it away. Augusto took it away. Winston now to Murphy, top of the key. Murphy, bounce pass to Adako, top of the key to Denny. Denny back into the corner. They work into Winston, strong move, and that one is partially blocked by Parker, taken away by the Ravens, and here they come. Here's a reverse layup, no good by Thomas. Vikings race down the other way. Murphy to Augusto. Augusto goes baseline to Denny. Denny back out to Murphy. Murphy gives it off to Denny, long three, got it! And that's a big bucket by Lindsay Denny, who now has 4, and the Vikes back within 12.
And Lindsay normally plays inside, but she stepped out beyond the arc that time and drained that one. That was a big shot.
2:20 to go in this first half. Here is Murphy. Long three on the way. This one is short. Vikings with a rebound. Vikes want to run. Here comes Augusto. She's tripped, hits the deck. Ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to say that it's going to belong to the Ravens. And Tim Dixon and I agree. He says there's no way that Andressa Augusto just fell down.
No, you could see she tripped, no doubt about it. It was unintentional, but it was still a foul.
Look at the expression on her face. She just doesn't change expression, does she? She knew she was fouled, but she didn't get upset. She just kind of 30-18, 1:59 to go.
Coach Tim Dixon went to court for her.
He said enough for her. Kramer into the corner in front of the Viking bench is a three that won't go by Thomas. Boy, they just continue to launch the threes. And now a foul, I think, on Rutledge. Trying to get that rebound, but that's just her first foul. Rutledge just with 2 points, though.
I want to see how many three-point attempts Benedictine's taken in the first half. It is not just 1 or 2 players. They got a lot of girls that will set up beyond the arc and launch, and that's team foul number 5 against the Ravens. So that's going to put, I believe that's Lindsay Denny on the line for 2 shots.
Remember the 1-and-1, no more in women's basketball. All right, here's the first free throw. It is good.
Good job.
Denny's had a nice job coming off the bench. She has 5 points now. 30-19. Well, Joe, we just get this thing down to 7 or 8 by half, you'd feel pretty good.
Getting single digits for sure if we can.
Denny hits them both. 5'11" junior. And we have a timeout. While we have a timeout, we'll take a look at the rest of the schedule for tonight. Culver's at CMU. This Culver team knocked off Benedictine by 2, so this Culver team comes in 1-1 in the league, 6-2 overall. They're at CMU, and CMU off to a start of 2-0 in the league, 5-1. Boy, there's some good records in this conference. Graceland is at Peru tonight. Graceland, you saw them, Joe. They're 0-2 in the league. Peru's 0-2, and they're both 1-6 overall. Baker's at Evangel. Baker is 1-1 in the league, 6-2 overall. Evangel 1-1, 2-5. Then William Penn at Grandview. William Penn women are 1-1, 3-5. Grandview is in the middle, 1-1, 4-4. And then Avila at Mid-America. Mid-America on top, 4-0 overall, 2-0 in the league. And Avila 0-2, 1-6.
Well, and Benedictine, Baker, and Culver, Stockton all have one conference loss. You know those are all three good teams.
Yeah. Vikings trying to stay right up in that group with them, down by only 10 with 1:39 to go, and an offensive foul. They may call Rutledge again for an illegal push. They did.
You've got our approval if that's what you want to do, and that is the call.
Illegal screen set on that baseline by Rutledge, so with 2 points and 2 fouls, she's coming out for the remainder of the half. 1:37 to go.
And this is probably about as quiet a first half as you will see Shayla Rutledge have offensively. Only 1 field goal, 2 points, and she averages almost 18 points a game.
Enlow to Murphy. Back it comes. Enlow fakes to 3 inside to McCoy. Murphy drives that left baseline. They double team her. Still with the dribble. Kicks it out to McCoy. McCoy drives. Puts that shoulder down. Drives all the way to the basket. Then missed the shot. Kramer with a rebound. Made a nice move. Joe just put it off the glass too hard.
I think Deidre thought somebody was going to try to block the shot. She ended up being wide open and just put it up too hard.
A baseline taken away by Enlow, but she dribbled it out of bounds. Good job by Savannah. Anticipated that pass on the baseline. Knocked it away. Tried to maintain control of it, but went out of bounds.
Nearing the end of the first half. 1:05 left to play.
Taffel inbound it. And goes out high. Gives it to Ballman. Ballman back to Kramer. Kramer holds it. Gives it back out to Taff. Taff 1-on-1, 55 seconds to go, 8 on the shot clock. Works it in the corner to Kramer, launches a 3, it's an air ball, and the rebound Enlow. Vikings down by 10, 30-20 with 44 seconds to go, so there'll be a couple of possessions left in this half. Into Winston. Winston goes up strong and it's fouled. Good job by Alicia Winston.
Well, Alicia went to the right, then spun back to the left inside of that lane and went up strong. That's the secret inside. Always go up strong, and she did, and she draws the 2-shot foul. That's going to come up. That foul is going to be on Jordan Kramer. That's her first.
First free throw by Winston is no good. Alicia comes into this game averaging 6 points and 3.4 rebounds, looking for her first point tonight. And misses both free throws. Fight for the rebound, pulled down to the corner by Parker.
I've got the Vikes 6 out of 11 from the line.
30 seconds, 22 on the shot clock, 28 on the game clock, 30-20. Ravens with the basketball. Ballman, top of the key to Kramer. Got to watch her. Now they try to get it underneath and throw it away, trying to get the pass underneath to Parker, and it sailed over her head. Taft threw it over her head.
Well, the Vikings can take the last shot of the half if they choose to.
And like we had hoped they would, they have a chance now to cut this thing into single digits. So here come the Vikings. Enlow to Raina Smith. Carried it on her hip for a little bit. Now drives left side. Raina in trouble. Back out. Here's the 3 by Murphy. It's an air ball. It goes out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. So the Ravens still have a chance at a last shot. Vikings didn't really get a good shot there. Vasquez will come in. Wanaka also will check in. 4 seconds to go in the first half. This ball game moving right along. 30-20. Ravens have led throughout, but they've only scored 6 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Quickly into Taft. Taft through double team. 2 seconds. 1 second. They launch it. It's on the way. It hit the backboard. It would have counted, I believe. Hit the front of the rim and off no good. That shot was taken by Beard. So we are at the break. 30-20 is our score as the Ravens lead the Vikings. We'll be back with the scoring and more in a couple of moments.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Well, we are back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, and Joe, the Vikings down by 10, but they held Benedictine to just 6 points in that second quarter, so I know when Tim goes into the locker room, he'll say, hey, play a little defense, look what could happen, because that first quarter, the Ravens were really, really good.
Well, and really not a good shooting half at all for the Vikings in the first half. We don't have the percentages quite yet, but only scoring 20 points, and you know, a team that's averaging 85 points a game, well below their average. So, you know, you've got to have the feeling if the Vikings can get somebody hot, start getting a few easy buckets, we'll be right back in this game.
No question about that. Let's take a look at the scoring unofficially that we have in this ball game tonight.
Well, for the Vikings, Lindsey Denny, she came off the bench, did a great job, hit a three-pointer, also 3 for 4 from the line. I've got Lindsey with 6 points, Kiana Wharton right behind with 5, and then 3 points each for Ashley Ward, Andressa Augusto, and Deidre McCoy, and that's it for the Vikings. 5 different girls score in the first half. For Benedictine, very good balance. The leading scorer, 7 points for Allie Taft. She hit 1 3-point shot. 6 points for Jordan Kramer. She knocked down a couple of triples. Then it drops down to 5 for Serena Parker. Looks like 3 points each for Haley Beard and Lexi Villegas, and then 2 points each for Kristen Murphy and Sage Ballman to round out the scoring. And Shayla Rutledge also with 2.
2 and 2 fouls. So Vikings have done a pretty good job there. When we get the official statistics, I think we'll look at that shooting percentage. But again, just a 10-point game. When we come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Viking men's soccer team. They're in the national semifinals in Florida. We'll talk about that when we return in just a moment.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online. For like a year, she couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
All right, we do have some of the official stats, and those shooting percentages, 47% of the first quarter for Benedictine. They certainly cooled off because now as a team, they're shooting just 32%. The Vikings, well, they stayed cold. They shot 21% in the first quarter. The halftime percentage, 23%. Neither team doing a great job from the line. The Vikings are just 6. Let's see. The Vikings, the Ravens are 2 out of 6, and the Vikings, they have them. Looks like 6 out of 12, 50% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So that's the
Look at this, though,
percentages.
Ken. Benedictine launches 18 three-point shots in the first half.
Yeah.
They had 6 out of 18, and they hit their first 3. So after that, they were, what, 3 out of 15 after those first 3 shots.
Well, I didn't think they were going to miss. And taking a look, this is not unusual for them because coming into tonight, they have taken 98 three-point shots, 38 out of 98, whereas that's the Vikings, 38 out of 98, and their three-point shots, they're 88 out of 216. So the Vikings have taken 98 three-point shots, 216 for the Ravens. So Coach Folsom doesn't mind when they crank it up because when they go in, man, they can build that lead in a hurry.
I can feel my elbow starting to hurt right now thinking about taking that many shots, but that's been a characteristic of Chad Folsom's teams. I mean, regardless of who he's had, he's always seemed to have quite a few girls that like to shoot from beyond the arc.
Well, let's take a look at what happened earlier today in Florida, Missouri Valley, in the semifinals now of the NAIA National Tournament. The Vikings defeated Rocky Mountain, Montana 3-0 today. Goals by Raul Bade and Juan Carlos Harris and Slaven Bascalo. And another shutout for goalie Albert Balcells. He has really been something lately. The Vikings, recall, defeated Mount Mercy 4-0 a week ago in the first round here at home, and then went to Florida, defeated Viola, California Monday, 3-2 in double overtime. Vikings are now 22-1. That's 20 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. Will play number 1 seed Rio Grande, Ohio. They're 21-1. That's at 3 o'clock Friday in one of the semifinals. The other quarterfinal, Mid-American Nazarene taking on Davenport, Michigan, and Columbia College just down the road against Lindenwood Belleville. So really a Midwestern flavor to the Final Four in men's soccer. Congratulations to Vlade Simic, Drew Hawkins, and that bunch for the first time ever in the semifinals. Vlade's been there 3 years in a row now. They lost the first round the last couple of years, or the second round actually. First round in Florida, but they are getting it done this year.
Yeah, Vlade's done a great job, and wouldn't that be something if Mid-America and Columbia would both win? That'd put, 3 teams out of our area in the Final Four.
Yep, and they could. I think we'll know by the time the men's game begins how Mid-American Nazarene did today, as they're taking on again Davenport, Michigan, then Columbia College. The Cougars playing Lindenwood Belleville. The championship match is set for Saturday at 4 at Delray Beach, Florida. The women's tournament in Alabama, I know you Raven fans who are watching tonight are interested in that, as they won again today in Mobile, defeating Mobile, Alabama 2-1 in double overtime. Liz Enna scored the winning goal. They're playing in Alabama. The Ravens will now play number 1 Lindsey Wilson. That's Friday at 11 in the semifinals. And also in volleyball going on in Sioux City, Iowa, Mid-American Nazarene, Evangel, and Columbia College are all competing. They have pool play through tomorrow, and then they'll sort things out for the medal round. But a lot of action involving Heart of America college teams. No football teams, though. Joe Baker lost to Southern Oregon, and Grandview lost 30-3 to Marion. They used to be in the same conference.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling maybe we would see a semifinal matchup in Baldwin City this weekend between Grandview and Baker, but not to be, as both teams fell. But how about Morningside, Iowa? That's the team that beat the Vikings in the quarterfinals last year. They're the number 1 seed, and they had to go like 4 overtimes in their first round game. They beat St. Xavier.
Yeah.
They're out of Illinois, aren't they?
Yeah,
beat them like 70-something to 68.
75-69.
Yeah. What a game. What a game.
And, you know, that was that cold. It was cold that day,
Yeah.
if you recall. And when we went to Grandview to do the game in September, when you broadcast, you don't get to sit in the luxury of the press box or the media box. You sit out in front. And that day it was nice, a little canopy tent. It was a nice warm day.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, sitting through 4 overtimes in the wind and cold of Des Moines a couple of Saturdays ago would not have been all that exciting.
Sitting in that tent, I went back, had flashes of being back in Boy Scouts again. But it was a nice day the day we were up there. In fact, the sun was out in the roof of that tent, really kind of blocked the sun.
Yeah.
It felt pretty good.
But so no teams there. And that mid-state or that conference, Marion is in again. St. Francis is in. St. Francis out of Indiana will play Morningside, or rather they'll play Marion, and then Morningside in Southern Oregon. Those are the matchups in NAI football. And the winners on December the 19th will play in Daytona Beach. So that wouldn't be a bad place to be either.
No, that wouldn't be bad at all. No. You know, and we remember the Vikings, was it 3 years ago, almost got to that championship game. They lose on that last second field goal to Marion, the semifinal game played here in Marshall. And boy, I just had a feeling we were going that year. We were ranked, I think, number 2 in the nation, and really had a great year.
And a great year by Baker and a great year by Grandview, but they both came to an end last week. All right, we'll take a final break. When we come back, Joe's going to call the second half. And the Vikings are only down by 10. They were down by 16 at the end of the first quarter. So slowly but surely making their way back. We'll be right back with the second half.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Missouri. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome to the Maya Miguel Challenge. Meet Maya and the gang.
Oh, hi, I'm Maya.
Maya and her friends want you to get up and play, because it's always more fun to be active.
There's mountain biking, boating and fishing, mountain climbing and spelunking. Let's get started.
Get ready to take the Maya and Miguel Challenge.
Let's see.
Just go to letsmove.gov and look for Maya and Miguel. You'll find tons of fun activities that'll help keep you healthy and active. Muy activo. You can also check out healthy recipes to try with your family, play cool games, and get free downloads. So come hang out with Maya, Miguel, and the whole gang. Go! Remember, whether you play sports, run, dance, or jump in place, just get up and play at least an hour a day. And don't forget, eat healthy to be your best. Maya and Miguel will show you how at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and the Department of Health and Human Services.
Get ready for the start of the second half as Benedictine leads this one 30-20. Thinking about Saturday's game as we go to Baldwin City to take on Baker in a doubleheader. And I'll tell you, the Baker men's team, they're playing better too. They've had some pretty close games.
I don't think there's a real weak team in the conference. I think this is going to be one of those years where a lot of teams are very capable of beating anybody else on a given night.
Yeah, Evangel, surprisingly, Joe, Evangel is 1-1 and 1-6 overall. But I don't know what kind of a pre-conference schedule they played, but that's kind of unusual. William Penn, we knew they were strong. They're 8-1 overall.
You know, every year Evangel, it seems like they don't have that good of a preseason record. They play a very tough schedule, but of course Steve Jenkins, one of the veterans in the conference, and they'll be in the mix, I'm sure, as the season goes on.
All right, we're just about ready for the second half here. The Vikings trail by 10. What do the Vikes have to do here, Joe, to come back in this thing and take a lead?
I think got to keep playing defense like we did the second quarter and just got to get some shots to start falling. The Vikes have really done a pretty good job getting the ball inside, but just, shooting only 23%, have just not had a chance to get the shots to fall. And you look at Kiana Wharton, she's 2 out of 5. Lycia Winston, 0 out of 2. Just looking at some of the girls that take the ball inside. Deidre McCoy, I'm not sure what Deidre's 1 out of 5, and they're the ones that, typically take the ball into the basket. So just need to start getting some of those shots to fall inside.
All right, we're ready for the second half, third quarter, if you will. 30-20, the Ravens with a lead. Looks like they have the same starting 5 that they had to start the ball game. Tim Dixon, a few last-minute instructions to his team, and we are getting ready for the second half. Let's see if the Vikings can erase this 10-point deficit. Here we go, Joe.
Well, for the Vikings, it'll be Deidre McCoy, Ashley Onaka. She'll start here in the second half. Kiana Wharton, Ashley Ward, and Andressa Augusto. Those are the 5 that'll start the second half for the Vikings. It's 30-20. Benedictine, the Ravens have led the entire way here in the first half. The Vikings trailed by, I think, as many as 14 or 15 at one time, but now they've cut it down to 10. So it was 24-8, I believe, at the end of the first quarter. So that was a 16-point game. So Vikes really made up some ground here in the second quarter. They will get the ball to start period number 3. For Benedictine, it's Allie Taft, Kristen Murphy, Lexi Villegas, Jordan Kramer, and Shayla Rutledge. So the original starting 5 on the floor for the Benedictine team, and now both teams head to their bench. I'm not sure if the clock troubles, we had a problem to start the game. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but we're some type of difficulty getting ready to start half number 2, it looks like.
Well, we have another score. Mid-American Nazarene defeated Davenport, Michigan, the defending national champs, 1-0.
Wow.
So 2 teams out of the Heart of America Conference are now in the Final Four in soccer, as the Vikings are there, and they will play Friday against the number 1 ranked team, Rio Grande. And now Mid-American Nazarene will play either Columbia College or Lindenwood. So 2 teams in the Heart are in the Final Four.
How did the Vikings do against Mid-America during
Defeated
the regular
them 1-0
season?
here.
1-0.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Or I know that was in the conference tournament 1-0.
Okay, 1-0. All right. Okay, ready to play here in the second half. Vikes get the ball to start the half. Augusto brings it across the timeline, guarded by Allie Taft as Benedictine back in that man-to-man defense. Right wing McCoy down low to Wharton. Kiana tries to spin inside against the double team, now loses control. It's going to be a tie-up, and it should be Benedictine ball with the alternate possession rule as the Vikes got the ball to start the second half.
Boy, you can see every time Kiana touched that ball, there are 2 or 3 gals right around her.
Yeah, that was a good job of collapsing that time by the Benedictine defense, but Ravens get it back, 30-20, just underway here in the second half. Vikes starting, looks like Vikes in a zone to start the second half. Rutledge, down in the corner it comes. There's a 3 by Murphy off the left wing. This one misses, and a good save, but Augusto gets it for the Vikings. Long pass ahead to Ward. Ward drives in, goes up strong, had it blocked that time by Kramer. But Ward gets it back. Vikes will reset the offense. Ward down low to Wharton. Wharton goes at Rutledge, puts it up and got it. That's what they got to do, Ken.
Yep.
Take it right at Rutledge. She has 2 fouls. Kiana Wharton has 7 points. It's a single-digit game. 8-point Benedictine lead. We've played a minute.
Kiana did not back down. She went right at her.
Taft picked up by Augusto, goes to the baseline. Now back out ahead of the key to Kramer. Rutledge launches a baseline jumper. This one pinballs out, no good. Oh, an offensive rebound by Villegas. Somehow, that time Lexi Villegas snuck in between 2 defenders, got the offensive rebound and the stick back. She has 5 points. It's back to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, that went right through one of the Vikings' fingertips, and now they throw it away again to the Vikes.
Here comes Taft quickly across the timeline for the Ravens out of Benedictine, out of Atchison, Kansas. Right wing, it goes to Taft. Taft comes around a screen, now gives it back to Villegas. Her 3 is short. And Augusto tracks down the loose ball for the Vikings. Ahead quickly to McCoy. Now McCoy drives inside. Deidre, as she does so often, takes it strong right down the middle, and she draws what should be a two-shot foul.
Now they're going to say it was on the drive, so the Vikings will just get possession.
Thought maybe they'd put Deidre on the line, but that's not the case as that foul comes up against Jordan Kramer. That's her second. Now McCoy goes in between a double team and got it. So a nice strong move that time as Deidre McCoy took it to the right baseline, went up strong. She's got 5. It's back to an 8-point Raven lead. Vikes still in that zone, looks like. Villegas, head of the key. Right wing over to Kramer. Now skip pass. Back to Villegas. Good ball movement by the Ravens. And they finally get it to Allie Taft on the baseline. She knocks it down. They say that's a triple. That's Taft's second triple of the game. She's in double figures with 10. It's an 11-point Benedictine lead. 7.5 minutes to go in the game, in the third quarter, excuse me. McCoy over to Onaka. Good ball movement by the Vikings. Augusto skips it to Ashley. Now down low to Wharton. Wharton cut off by Rutledge. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's a 3 by Augusto. Lips off the front of the rim. No good. Rutledge tracks down the rebound. Now there's a steal. Steal by Ashley Ward. Got it. So good pressure in the backcourt that time by the Vikings. Ashley Ward gets the steal. She's got 5 points. Timeout on the floor. Tim Dixon takes it. Exactly 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 9-point Benedictine lead.
Joe, the ball looks like the Vikings are starting to get that ball down low and using Kiana Horton, but I'd like to see her when she gets the ball, instead of passing it back out, just keep going up and make sure that Rutledge either has to back off or she'll pick up that third foul. We're just 3 minutes into the second half, so that would be big.
You know, this Benedictine team, Ken, is a team that I think you can come back on very easily. You know they're going to launch the shots. If they're hitting, there's not much you can do, but if they're missing shots as they did in the second quarter, you're going to get your opportunities to get back in the game. And the Vikings, who trailed by 10 at halftime, have made up 1 point. We've got exactly 7 minutes to go, 35-26. Benedictines led the entire way. Taft yo-yos outside, gets it on the right wing to Murphy. Taft thinks about a 3, now does launch a 3. Missed this one. This was an air ball, and Murphy tried to save it on the baseline, but they're going to say she stepped on the out-of-bounds line, so the Vikings get it back, try to make it a 7, maybe a 6-point game here. A little bit of pressure as Augusto gets it across the timeline. Now Taft reaches out and grabs her, so Allie Taft gets her first foul as she runs in to address Augusto. Non-shooting foul. Vikes will inbound on the far side. McCoy, Augusto, Onaka, Ward, and Kiana Wharton. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Vikings right now. McCoy drives inside. She's knocked down, and that foul, I believe, is going to come up on Sage Ballman. If that is, that's her third foul as Ballman trips Deidre McCoy. And I tell you, Deidre, when she goes down that lane, she goes with reckless abandon, doesn't she?
Yeah, she was kind of limping around a little bit like she'd hurt her right hip, and she hits the other, and she says, I'm the hanging there. I'm not coming out.
Vikes to inbound. Augusto gets it into Wharton. Kiana goes right at Rutledge, puts it up too hard off the glass, and knocked out of bounds. They say one of the Ravens hit it last, so the Vikings retain possession. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the game. It's a 9-point Benedictine lead.
Kiana a little upset with herself for missing that shot, but that's okay. Just keep taking it. It'll go in.
Outside McCoy. McCoy lobs into Kiana again. Kiana goes right at Rutledge. Left this one short. Couple of good looks for the big girl, but just couldn't get either shot to fall. Taft pulls up for a 3. Missed it. Rebound Kiana. Taft had a good look that time as one of the Viking defenders fell down, but she missed it. Augusto to McCoy on the right wing. Deidre puts up a baseline jumper, got it. So Deidre McCoy knocks down a shot from the baseline, folks. We've got a 7-point game, and Ken, that's about as close as the Vikings have been for quite a while.
Now go ahead and play some tough defense here. Make them take a tough shot.
Murphy, head of the key to Taft. Now double team, they try to get it inside, back to Taft with 13 on the shot clock. Taft comes around a Rutledge screen. Now hands in the corner to Beard. Now has it taken away by Ward. Good steal by the Vikings. Ahead to Deidre. Deidre drives in. Got it! The Vikes on a 6-0 run, and it's a 5-point game. Timeout on the floor as the Vikings, a good job running the floor. Ashley Ward got it ahead to Deidre McCoy, and Deidre looks like she's in quite a bit of pain this time, but boy, she has the last couple of buckets for the Vikings. She has 9 points in the game.
Yep, 9 points, and as she takes it to the basket strong, she may be coming out here. She's limping pretty good. I think it's more of a hip than it is an ankle on that right leg, but she's going to come out for a little bit. Raina Smith will check in. Also coming, Lindsay Denny, the 5'11 junior, who really kept the Vikings in the game in that first half. She had 6 first-half points coming off the bench, and those were big points to keep the Vikes within striking distance.
Yeah, and she had 3 out of 4 from the stripe and knocked down a 3-pointer, so Lindsay really played well. So it's Kiana Wharton, Ashley Ward, Lindsay Denny, Raina Smith, and Andressa Augusto. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Vikings down by as many as 16 points in the first half, have now cut it to 5 with 5:16 left to play in the third quarter. In the ball game is Thomas for Benedictine. She gets it on the right wing to Murphy. Now Beard fakes a 3, gives it back to Thomas.
Vikings playing zone.
Vikes been in that zone the entire second half. Played a good man-to-man a good part of the first half. Now Thomas throws up a 3. Missed it. Battle for the loose ball. It comes away to Beard. Now she kicks it. Or Ballman, excuse me. Ballman kicks that one off of her right leg out of bounds. So 4:44 left to play. The Vikings on a 6-0 run. They get it back. Now looks like Benedictine's going to switch into a zone. Down low to Wharton. Kiana drives in. Had it blocked away. That was a nice block that time by Serena Parker. I think she got all ball that time, Ken. That was a good rejection.
Good rejection, but just keep taking it in there.
Exactly. There's a 3 by Ballman. This one off the left side. Boy, this team has really cooled off from the outside. They were on fire in the first half. First quarter, scoring 24 points. Here come the Vikes on the run. Oh, nice pass by Augusto. Got the ball down low to Ward. Ward could not finish, though. Now Augusto tries to steal the ball from Loranda Thomas, reaches around. That's going to be a foul on Andressa.
Yeah, don't mind that. It was a one-on-one. She fouled. It's only the first foul on the Vikings, so really didn't hurt anything. Second foul on Andressa, but really didn't hurt anything there.
Non-shooting foul, so it will be Raven ball out of bounds under their own bucket. 4:04 left in the third, 35-30, Benedictine on top. Now they're going to call a foul, I think, on Raina Smith as Raina reaches over the back on the inbounds pass.
I think the official was waiting. If they're going to throw it there, he was going to call the foul because she was leaning in pretty hard.
That's 2 fouls on Raina Smith. Raina has 2. Augusto has 2. Those are the only Vikings in any kind of foul trouble. Sage Ballman has 3 for Benedictine. There's a 3 off the right wing, and that's good. That 3 was knocked down that time by Haley Beard. That's her second triple of the game. And that extends the Raven lead back up to 8.
8 made threes for this team so far.
They put a lot of, they shot 18 threes in the first half. Speaking of threes, Augusto tries one for the Vikes and misses. Here comes Thomas. Beard. Head of the key, Parker with a 3. Got it. So Serena Parker knocks down her second triple, give her 8 points, and just like that, back-to-back triples by Benedictine has made this an 11-point game. Now Raina Smith tries to split the double team, flips up the shot, misses it. And Thomas drives in, and she's going to be fouled by Lindsay Denny, I believe. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Something was called.
Yeah, I don't know what was called there.
I thought the foul was going to come up on Lindsay Denny as she fouled Loranda Thomas on the drive, but there might have been something called before that happened.
They're taking everybody off the free throw line, or off the Benedictine side of the court, and the 3 officials are discussing something here. 3:13 to go in the third quarter, 41-30.
I can read their lips.
Technical foul.
Call T. Wow.
On Raina. Let me see if I can hear what's going on here.
Now Tim Dixon wants to talk with the official. That'll be the third foul on Raina Smith as Miranda Thomas knocks down the free throw, so she'll have one more. That's her first point of the game.
They called a technical, and I don't know why on Raina Smith.
I don't know either. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Now part of the backboard came off. We're having all kinds of fun tonight, aren't we? It's a yellow piece of, I don't know if it's a piece
Now
of
the officials are talking. What time does Applebee's close, they're saying? Yeah, one of the officials holding. I think that's part of the maybe rubber padding, the foam rubber padding of the backboard. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's looks like a piece of metal. Yep.
Off the backboard.
Well, we do know.
It doesn't all fall down. The rim doesn't fall down.
Yeah. Well, Miranda Thomas at the line. She got the first one. She will have one more here. Second shot by the Benedictine guard is good. So Thomas knocks down two free throws, and just like that, Benedictine, it was a 5-point game not that long ago. Benedictine on an 8-0 run, I believe, right now. They knocked down 2 triples, one by Serena Parker and the other by Haley Beard. Now 2 free throws by Loranda Thomas, and it's a 13-point Benedictine lead with 3:13 left to play in the third quarter.
Now Andre Scott is one of the grad assistants is over there looking. They're looking for maybe a screw or something fell off that piece.
I don't know
of the backboard.
Well, especially that men's game when those guys get up and dunk and hang on the rim. No telling. You want the backboard. You certainly want the backboard to be secure.
All right, 3:13 to go in the third quarter. The lead back to 13. The largest lead has been 16. So they are building it back up.
With the technical foul, the Ravens keep the ball. That's knocked out of bounds, I believe, by McCoy, and Deidre continues to limp, and I think you're right. It looks like that left hip may be bothering her. So the Ravens will have the ball into their own bucket. Vikes have been in a zone most of this second half. Now McCoy reaches in again. Boy, her hands, her feet are continually moving. Now Benedictine will inbound right in front of their bench. They get it outside to Beard. Beard hands to Thomas on the right wing, guarded by Augusto. Jordan Kramer gets it hit of the key. Back to Parker. She just drained a 3 a minute ago. Good ball movement by the Ravens. Good D by the Vikings. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Thomas comes around a screen. There's a 3 by Villegas. Good. Lexi Villegas buries. That's her second triple of the game. And boy, what a run right now. It's
11-0 run.
11-0 run for Benedictine, including 3 triples in that run. Vikes need a bucket right here. McCoy outside, hands over to Enlow, who's checked into the lineup. Now foul underneath. I think they're going to say Serena Parker grabs hold of, Kiana Wharton, I believe.
And that's her third foul, isn't it? Yep. Oh, they called on.
No, they called that on Beard, didn't they?
If they did, I don't think they put it up there yet.
Yeah, I thought that foul was on Parker, but I'm not sure.
It was.
Vikes get it in the corner to Augusto. Addresses 12-footer, rims around and comes out. Offensive rebound, Kiana Wharton up and in. Nice job on the offensive glass that time by Kiana Wharton as she gets the stick back. She's got 9 points. It's a 14-point game. Right wing now to Kramer.
Clock's not moving either. 2:25.
No,
clock's
it's not.
moving. Now it is. Well, we got a few more seconds.
Well, we're behind. We need a little extra time. Now, I think Chad Folsom caught that. I think he saw it. Hey, we're behind.
We're gonna
play as long as we can.
Play as long as we can. Probably about, I'm guessing it probably was about 8-9 seconds.
Yeah. It was a fairly lengthy run off there that didn't happen. 2:20. The clock says 2:21 left in the third quarter. Now for about the 5th time this quarter, the officials are huddled around the head of the key.
Well, this game was moving along too rapidly. We were going to be in good shape to get the men's game started, so they had to make a couple of adjustments here.
Well, one discussion we've had quite often this year is we're wondering what type of impact going to quarters in women's basketball will have on the length of these games. Now Alicia Winston gets set to check in for the Vikings.
2:21.
2:21 was when the last shot was made.
Oh, I don't.
2:12.
2:12. Yeah. 46-32 with 2:21 to go. They came over and asked when the last shot was made.
Which last shot?
I think they have a monitor now, so they're going to have to go up and take a look. What they're going to do is take a break here and see when the last shot was made.
So let's delay the game a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say run 8 seconds off and everybody'd be happy.
It's not, that would not be that far off, I don't think.
Well, 2:21 is what's on the scoreboard right now. 27 seconds on the shot clock. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have all this figured out.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know you're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We're trying to figure out how many seconds should be on the clock, and we think they take about another 8 off. They said the last basket was made at 2. Well, they say 2:12.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The officials very erroneously mistook us for somebody who knew what was going on.
I told him what I thought.
We're in the dark. We know we're in the dark, but he thought we knew something.
I told him what I thought, and he didn't listen. He didn't listen to me. You know, Vikings are now down by 14, 2:21 to go. You want to get this thing down a little bit because this Benedictine team is good. And you don't want to have to go in the fourth quarter down by double digits. Boy, they knocked down a couple of those threes, and they can build that lead up in a hurry. It was 5, and now it's all and an 11-0 run just like that. Brought it back to 16 at one time. It's now 14.
Well, the thing about this Benedictine team, you can see it very plainly. They live by the 3. They die by the 3. They almost died through the second quarter and halfway through the third, but then they knocked those 3 triples down in a row in the middle of that 11-0 run and got them back up to a double-digit lead again.
And this is all with Chayla Rutledge, one of the best players in the conference with 2 points.
Yep. Yeah, Vikes have done a very good job on her all night long tonight.
Saturday, we will be in Baldwin City, Kansas. 2 and 4 o'clock games as we take on the Baker Wildcats. And also, again, Friday, the Viking men's soccer team at 3 o'clock Central Time will take on Rio Grande, Ohio in one of the semifinals. Mid-American Nazarene in the other semifinal. And the Benedictine women continue to play there in the semifinals as well. So the Heart of America Conference really being represented well in the national soccer tournaments. But the last Monday and again today and I'm sure Friday, they'll have that game on at the Malcolm Center or at Ferguson for people to come and watch as the Vikings and Vlade Simic, Drew Hawkins look to get into the finals for the first time in Viking history. You think they were allowed that night? They came in here a couple of years ago. Can you imagine how loud they'll be if they win a national championship?
Are they in the same bracket? They're not in the same bracket with Mid-America. So if both of us would win the next round, we could play them for a national championship. Or could be Columbia College.
Could be Columbia College or Mid-America Nazarene if the Vikings can win. Still looking, trying to figure out exactly how much time. You wonder what's the big deal. Well,
I don't know.
The thing is, Joe, though, I guess if it came down to a last-second shot in this game and the Vikings win and they have 2 more seconds than they should have had.
And I would say being down by 14 points right now, I would hope it does come down to a final shot. You know,
down by 14 points, they continue to to look at. They have a monitor down on the scores table this year, and I'm sure they're taking it right off of the video, that the women's video.
You know, and looking ahead, the Vikings, as you said, we will be in Baldwin City on Saturday afternoon to take on Baker. Off next week, I guess it's finals week. A week from Saturday, we'll be down in Fayette to take on Central Methodist. And I believe the following Monday, something like the 16th or so, there's 14th. There's a doubleheader here with William Woods, men's and women's doubleheader. And then I think the women play University of Missouri St. Louis the Friday, a week before Christmas.
They'll have that, and the men go on the road to Northwest Louisiana for a game down there. So our last broadcast before the first of the year will be on the 14th, that doubleheader against William Woods.
Well, we've had a nice relaxing break here. Now they put 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. I thought there was more time than that, but I guess not. 2:05 left to play in the third quarter. The Benedictine Ravens on an 11-2 run. They've all of a sudden turned a 5-point game into a 14-point game, and it'll be Benedictine's ball underneath as the Vikings line up in that zone. Oh, a nice pass inside. That's going to be a foul, I believe, on Maddie Murphy as Lexi Villegas breaks right down the lane. Murphy grabbed hold of her arm, so I believe Maddie will be whistled with her first foul of the game.
And Villegas 5'11", Maddie not very big at 5'4".
So Benedictine will do it over again. Now they get it back to Villegas, this time on the baseline. Head of the key, it comes out to Thomas. Now Kramer. Left wing over to Murphy. Down on the low block to Villegas. She backs in on Murphy. Down to 17 on the shot clock. Good ball movement by the Ravens. There's a deep three by Kramer. This one comes up short. Nice rebound by the smallest girl on the floor, Maddie Murphy. Maddie hands over to Raina, the senior out of St. Louis. Gets it head of the key to Deidre McCoy. Deidre drives in, now loses the handle. Knocked out of bounds by one of the Ravens.
She spends a lot of time on the floor, doesn't she?
And boy, Deidre really limping right now, but she's not about to come out. So Augusto will inbound for the Vikings. Into the corner to Alicia Winston. Raina down to Augusto. She's picked up outside by Thomas. Now McCoy sets it head of the key. Murphy, right wing, Raina. Raina drives to the right baseline. Back outside to Murphy with 13 on the shot clock. Now Murphy backs it out between the circles. Vikes need to get into the offense pretty quickly. Now Murphy's going to be fouled as Maddie tried to take the ball right down the middle, and she's bumped by Haley Beard. So nice take that time by Maddie Murphy. And again, Maddie is one of the newcomers on this team. She's a junior out of Salt Lake City, Utah. That'll be a non-shooting foul that comes up on Beard, so it'll be Viking ball out of bounds. Now they're saying, oh, that's the 15 foul. 15 foul on Benedictine, so this will be a two-shot foul for Maddie Murphy.
And I think Coach Folsom was complete. I think he may have been right. They reset that shot clock when the ball went out of bounds and probably shouldn't have.
Maddie missed the first one. Maddie hit some big free throws in that win right before Thanksgiving on the road up in Lamoni, Iowa against Graceland. But she misses her first attempt here. Second shot's good. So Murphy, that's her first point of the game. She gets 1 out of 2. It's a 13-point game with a minute left to play here in the third quarter. Vikes back in that zone. Trying to force the Ravens to shoot from the outside. Kramer does just that. Got it. Jordan Kramer knocks down another three. That's her third triple of the game. Give her 9 points, lead back up to 16.
Matches her biggest lead of the game.
Now Raina inside to Winston. Baseline jumper, McCoy, got it. Good ball movement that time. Raina Smith found Alicia Winston inside. She was covered up. She got the ball in the baseline to Deidre McCoy. Deidre buried it. She's in double figures with 11. 49-35, under 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Deep three by Kramer. This one misses. Offensive rebound underneath by Parker. Her shot won't go. And the ball tapped out of bounds. They're going to say the Vikings hit it last. So down to 10 seconds in the third quarter. It will be Viking ball, or be Benedictine ball down in the down on the baseline in the corner.
Vikings giving up yet another offensive rebound, and fortunate that Parker didn't make that putback.
Back to Villegas. 8, 7. Deep three by Thomas just ahead of the buzzer. Missed it. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Oh, now Deidre McCoy. I think they're going to say Deidre McCoy runs into Loranda Thomas. And I believe that's the 5th foul on the Vikings. So that's going to put Thomas on the line for 2 shots.
With 0.4 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Tough break for the Vikings. That's McCoy's second. Thomas's first free throw in the air. Got it. So Loranda Thomas, a freshman out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, will have one more to try to make it a 16-point lead once again, and she does.
And she would have had another one had that one not gone in because Maddie Murphy stepped into the lane too early, but it really didn't matter. All right, the lead is back to 16, 51-35 at the end of 3 quarters. And Joe, the Vikings are going to have to figure out a way to stop this outside shooting. This is a sign of a good team. Rutledge has 2 points. The Vikings have taken that away, so they've just started launching more threes, and they're knocking them down. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10.
10. I've got 10.
10 3-point
10 3-pointers for Benedictine. They probably shot 30.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is here the Vikings are down 10 at halftime. They claw back in, get back within 5. And all of a sudden, bang, 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 3 quick 3-pointers. Now we're up to 16-point game once again.
51-35, 10 minutes to go in this one. This would be a big win for Benedictine since they lost that game at Culver to go on the road and get one. He didn't want to go 1 and 2. So this is, I think Chad knew coming in, this is a big game for him as well.
Ken, there's some tough venues to play in this conference. Anytime you can get a road game or a road win, I don't care where it is in the conference, if you can win one on the road, it's big.
It is. We'll keep you updated on the other scores as we go along the men's game tonight. And keep you updated on all the other action taking place. And we'll talk at halftime of the men's game tonight. We'll talk a little bit about all-conference football. The Vikings had several players make the South team, and they had 2 players make the all-division team. Kyraton Kilgore and Jacob King were both named to the all-division team.
Well, I think one thing we know, a new coach down at the Central Methodist, right?
New coach at CMU is Jody Ford is leaving that program. So a little change there. Going to be interesting to see what happens in recruiting and as we get ready for yet another football season. But we'll talk about that all-conference team as well as we go along tonight.
Well, 10 minutes to go in the game. We get ready to start the 4th quarter, 51-35. Benedictine has led the entire way. The Vikings got as close as 3 in the 3rd quarter, but then the Ravens got it going from the outside, knocked down 4 threes, I believe, in the last several minutes of the half, and they now lead it by 16.
All right, they're going to have to get hot on the Vikings here in this 4th quarter.
Augusto, Murphy, McCoy, Winston, and Raina Smith, the quintet on the floor for the Vikings right now. Now McCoy, what's new? She goes to the floor and fouled. I believe that's going to come up on Jordan Kramer. That'll be Kramer's 3rd foul. We need to chart how much floor time Deidre McCoy spends.
It's a lot.
During one of these games.
It's a lot.
And by floor time, we mean actually on the floor. Yeah. Now, nice drive by Augusto. Back to Raina. Her 3 off the right side. Banks it in. I'm not sure if Raina called bank on that one or not, but she banks it off the right side. That's her first bucket of the game. That's a big one. That cuts the lead to 13.
Yeah, we needed that.
Vikes need to play some defense here. Need to extend that defense, cover up those 3-point shooters. Parker. Villegas on the left wing. Murphy drives. Now Beard loses the handle. But they're going to say one of the Vikings whacked it out of bounds, so it will be Benedictine ball underneath with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
That may have been knocked away. I thought for a moment it looked like he just lost it out of bounds.
And get it out to Beard. Beard down low to Parker, guarded by Winston, double team. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Deep 3 by Beard just ahead of the shot clock buzzer. No good, but an offensive rebound by Parker, basket and 1. And boy, that hurt. as the Vikings did a great job on defense. They forced Haley Beard to take a long three-point shot. She missed it, but Serena Parker there to clean up the glass. She gets the bucket and one.
Yeah, you just can't afford that. You have to, when they miss, you have to get that rebound. That foul is going to be called on Murphy, her second.
And Parker completes the three-point play. So just like that, the Vikings, good defensive sequence, but Parker completes the three-point play. It's a 54-38 lead. That negates the three by Raina Smith. Now the Vikings, good job breaking the press. Down low to Winston. Good fake by Alicia, up and in. And Alicia Winston gets her first bucket of the game as she did a good job of faking inside and had that ball dance on the rim before it dropped. Vikes need to play some defense here. Now Villegas tries to lob into Parker, taken away by Raina Smith. Vikes want to run. Oh, and Raina's going to be fouled. Going to be fouled by Loranda Thomas as Thomas runs into Smith, and Loranda Thomas got the raw end of that deal. She committed the foul, then got knocked to the deck accidentally by Raina. And that'll be team foul number 3 already here in this fourth quarter on Benedictine.
Rutledge comes back into the lineup. Taff is back in, so they're all fresh. These starters, I think Murphy comes back in as well.
Raina Smith, Deidre McCoy, Alicia Winston, Savannah Enlow, who's back on the floor, and Andressa Augusto. Those are the 5 on the floor for Missouri Valley right now. Enlow tried to lob into Winston, had it knocked away, now taken away ahead to Beard. Oh, a good play by Raina Smith. They're going to call a foul on Raina, I believe, as Raina hustled down the court to knock that one away from Beard, but I guess she got a little bit of the arm, so Raina picks up her 4th foul.
And that'll be a 2-shot foul. Beard will go to the line for the first time.
Haley Beard at the line for Benedictine. She's a junior out of Ozark, Missouri. That's good basketball country down there.
Vikings have never led in this game. They trailed 8-0. They've been within 5.
Beard's first shot is good. So Beard now has 6 points in the game, or 7 points in the game, including 2 triples. And now Kiana Wharton comes back in, and Alicia Winston takes a seat. One more shot for Beard. Second shot is good. So the lead back up to 16. Vikes will get it down to 13, 14, and then Benedictine seems to have an answer.
Plenty of time, but Joe, you need to make a run here in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, 8 minutes. Got to get something done here pretty quickly. Inside to Wharton. Kiana, nice drive inside, but couldn't finish. Now McCoy, pump fake, gets the rebound, misses it. Oh, a couple of great opportunities. Kiana Wharton missed a close one. Deidre McCoy missed a follow, and the opportunity goes awry for the Vikings. Benedictine gets it in the corner now. There's Murphy. Murphy drives inside. Her runner missed. Rebound Enlow. Savannah Enlow still looking for her first points of the night. Augusto, a deep 3. Boy, Andressa's been quiet. Andressa had that 1-3 early in the game, and that's all she's had. She averages 16 points a game.
And the foul that's going to be called on Ballman, I think, is she and McCoy both went to the floor, and Ballman picks up the foul, her 4th foul.
You know, if somebody told you at this stage of the game Andressa Augusto would only have 3 and Shayla Rutledge would only have 2, you'd think I would take that bet.
Yes, I would too. Andressa was shooting over 60% on the season from beyond the arc, but made her first one, hasn't connected since.
Benedictine the Vikings inbound. They get it into Wharton in the corner. Now back outside to Lindsey Denny, who's checked in. Enlow, back to Denny on the left wing. Lob inside to Wharton. Now back to Enlow for a 3. Got it. So Savannah Enlow, that's her first bucket of the game, as Savannah Enlow buries a 3 off the right wing, and Coach Tim Dixon wants a timeout. So with 7:06 left to play in the game, it's a 13-point game, 56-43, Benedictine on top.
And that's what the Vikings have to do, play good defense and take advantage of every opportunity now, because we're down to the 7:06 mark. The Vikings have committed 2 fouls, 4 for the Ravens. So the Vikings now, Joel, at least be at the line here quite a bit late in this game. So they've got a chance to come back, but they're going to have if the Ravens miss a shot, the Vikings have to get the rebound. They cannot continue to give up offensive rebounds. That's just really hurt them here in the second half.
Well, the Vikings gave up 7 offensive rebounds in the first half, and that was a big difference. But this Benedictine team, I don't see them putting the ball in the deep freeze. I look for them to
I do too.
Continue to keep launching the long-range three-point bombs. All right, Benedictine ball. They've got that 13-point lead. We're down to the 7-minute mark in the game. Murphy gives outside to Villegas. Now I believe they're going to call a foul on Savannah Enlow. And that's team foul number 3 on the Vikings, so this will be a non-shooting foul. .6:55 left. Lindsay Denny, Savannah Enlow, Andressa Augusto, Alicia Winston, and Kiana Wharton, the 5 players on the floor for the Missouri Valley Vikings right now.
And once again, having some few problems with the clock here and checking, I think, the official score. I've got 56. They're checking with Michelle right now on the official score. I think we're good to go, 56-43.
Okay. Murphy, Rutledge, Villegas, Beard, and Allie Taft, the 5 on the floor for Benedictine. They've got the ball right now. Murphy back out to Rutledge, loses a handle. Gets it ahead of the key to Beard. Good ball movement to the right wing to Taft, who backs it out. Now looks like the Ravens do maybe want to run a little bit of clock. Usually they don't wait this long before they take a shot. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Left wing. There's a jump shot out of the corner, and that's good as Haley Beard. Haley Beard buries her 3rd triple of the game, give her 11 points, and it's a 16-point lead once again.
Perfect possession. Took a lot of time. Got the 3.
Vikes need to answer right here. Into Wharton. Kiana drives in on Rutledge. Scoop shot's good. That was a nice underhanded flip shot that time by Kiana Wharton. Give her 11. She's in double figures to trim the lead to 14.
Both these coaches working hard in front of the benches at the 6-minute mark of this ball game.
Now they get it down low. Benedictine gets it low to Beard. Back outside to Taft in the corner to Rutledge. Rutledge thinks about a 3, now gives back to Taft, who will set it between the 2 circles. Vikes still in that zone defense. Baseline to Murphy, run into, and they're going to call a blocking foul, I believe, on Kiana Wharton as she runs into Kristen Murphy on the baseline, and that'll be, I believe, team foul number 5 on the Vikings. I'm not sure.
4, I guess that's
just
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both team out with 4, so we'll be shooting 2 the rest of the way.
So again, the foul on Wharton, that's her 2nd. It'll be Benedictine ball out of bounds. They hand it into Rutledge. Knocked away by Enlow, but Murphy gets it back. Boy, Savannah all over the place out there. Now they're going to call it over and back. Ooh, I think the Vikings might have got a break right there. I thought Savannah Enlow got her hand on the ball and more or less tipped it into the backcourt, but they say Benedictine did it themselves. So Vikings forced the turnover. Augusto drives around Rutledge. Now into the corner. There's a 3 by Enlow. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Denny. Missed it. Rebound Wharton. Kiana missed it. Wow, 3 great opportunities. The baseline jumper by Enlow, then an offensive rebound by Denny, then another offensive rebound by Wharton. But the Vikes could not convert, so the ball will go back to the Ravens.
And the Ravens now, as you pointed out, the last couple of possessions starting to take some time off the clock so they can wind these possessions down a little bit and, boy, really shorten this game.
Now Deidre McCoy limps to the scorer's table. She gets set to check back in again. Down low to Rutledge. Rutledge double team. I'll tell you about Rutledge. She has not forced the shot. If she doesn't have it, she kicks it back out. And, you know, she's drawing a lot of attention from the Vikings here tonight. Taft spins in, and she's going to be fouled as Andressa Augusto. I think Andressa got a lot of ball, but also got a lot of Allie Taft's back. So that's going to put Taft on the line for 2.
And that came with 1 second on the shot clock.
Wow. Bad break for the Vikings right there. Taft, I missed it. She hit the first one.
Yes, she did.
She knocks down the first one, so Taft will have one more, give her 11 in the game. Allie Taft is a junior out of St. Joe, and she buries both free throws. So the lead back up to guess what? 16.
Yeah, that's been kind of a popular number, hasn't it?
Yes,
for
it
their
has.
lead?
Yes, it has. Now McCoy on the right wing, back outside to Enlow. Vikes need to get something going in a hurry right now. And now somebody bumps into Kiana Wharton, and this should be a two-shot foul. That comes up on Rutledge. That'll be her third foul.
But you're right, Joe. She has not forced a shot. She only has 2 points, but she's a veteran. She knows she'll have games like this, all the attention she's going to get, but her teammates have picked her up tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what she's done. They've gotten the ball into her. She draws the double team, then she kicks it back out to a shooter as Wharton knocks down the first free throw. So Kiana now with 12 points in the game. She will have one more as Ashley Ward and Raina Smith check back into the Missouri Valley lineup. Kiana Wharton, what a career she's had for the Vikings. She's a 6'1" senior out of Indianapolis. And Kiana knocks down the second free throw. She's a perfect 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. 13 points in the game. 4:41 left to play. It's a 61-47 Benedictine lead.
And Ashley Onaka will come back in. There is a timeout. 61, as you said, 47. Still time, but the Vikings are going to have to make a run. They're going to have to get some misses, and they're not can't afford to miss many more shots because Benedictine, Joe's a veteran team. They know how to use that clock, and they've been doing it for the last few possessions.
Well, you can tell they really slowed the pace of the game down. They've run the shot clock all the way down, and last time they ran it down, and Allie Taft drew that foul and then nailed 2 free throws.
Men's game about 20 minutes after this one. We'll have a quick conversation with Coach Tim Dixon and then get prepared for the men's game. Chad Lance, his team is 3-4, 0-2 in the league, losing at home to William Penn and on the road in an overtime game at Graceland. Benedictine, Ryan Moody's club, is 6-1 overall, 1-1 in league play.
Well, you know, it's a little early to talk about a must-win, but the Vikings do not want to go 0-3 in conference play.
You go to Baker, and Baker has given some people some problems this year. Don't have any wins in conference to show for, but playing people pretty close. And so we go there Saturday and then take a week off and go to CMU, and you know how tough they are at home all the time.
Okay, the Vikes will apply the pressure. Looks like a 2-2-1 zone press with 4:41 left to play in the game. It's a 14-point lead for the visiting Benedictine Ravens.
Going to a smaller lineup now as Horton's out of the lineup here.
Now the Ravens take their time against the press. Villegas gets it across to Murphy.
Good job.
They took their time, handled the ball well. Now outside to Beard. They want to run some shot clock again. 14 seconds on that shot clock. In the corner of Rutledge, she launches a 3. Got it. So Shayla Rutledge, as the Ravens move the ball around against the zone, they get the ball to Rutledge on the left wing. That's only 5 points for her, but that was a big one.
And that's her largest lead of the game now, 64-47, a 17-point lead.
And now I think they're going to get Allie Taft for a foul right there. She goes over the back of Ashley Ward. For Taft, that's her second foul. That'll put Ward on the line for 2 shots. Ashley Ward, the junior out of Springdale, Arkansas, misses the first one.
She's 1 out of 3 from the line.
Ashley, 5 points in the game. She'll have 1 more.
Nice job by Chad Folsom. He's quietly giving everybody rest, and now he has his starting 5 back in with 4:10 to go.
Chad's a good coach. Second shot by Ward is good. So Ashley gets 1 out of 2. Give her 6 points in the game. The lead is 16 once again. Vikes with the pressure now. The Ravens do a good job against the press. They get it down to the baseline to Kristen Murphy. She drives in, lays it in.
18-point
18,
lead.
biggest lead of the game for Benedictine. Now Ward does a good job slashing through the double team. Now Raina launches a 3. This one off the right side. Now I think they're going to get, they say Deidre McCoy and Shayla Rutledge going at it in there, and they call the
foul on Shayla, I think.
They call that on Shayla. Shayla gets the foul, so that'll put Deidre on the line for 2 shots here.
Who was on the floor, by the way.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, she's a scrapper. She's a battler.
I think Saturday I will just put a check mark or a mark down every time she hits the deck.
You better get a pretty good calculator. It's gonna be double digits, I will guarantee you. And then she knocks down the first free throw, so big second half. That's 9 points in the second half for Deidre McCoy. 12 points in the game. She'll have one more here. Second shot is good. So Deidre McCoy is a sophomore out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. She converts both free throws. Now the Vikes apply the pressure one more time. And again, the Ravens break the press.
Yeah, and they do it by passing the ball. Boy, that's nice to see. No one dribble, they just passed it against that press.
Well, it's a 2-2-1 zone press. That's a good way to break a press like that. There's a three by Villegas. No good. Rebound Onaka. Vikes need to be in the hurry-up mode right here. Augusto, nice behind-the-back dribble. Gets it to Reyna. Reyna, a runner in the lane. This one pinballs out, no good. And this time Onaka and Reyna Smith go to the floor, and it's Onaka and Jordan Kramer in a tie-up down on the floor, and it'll be should be the Viking ball as Enlow comes back in. Ashley Ward will take a seat.
Vikes down by 16, 3:04 to go. They have possession.
Enlow, Reyna Smith, Onaka, Andressa Augusto, and Deidre McCoy, the five on the floor for the Vikings right now. McCoy, head of the key, guarded by Villegas. Right wing to Onaka. Ashley throws up a runner inside, and she goes to the floor. So a nice drive that time by Ashley Onaka as she got the ball on the right wing, took it right down into the middle of the lane, and draws a two-shot foul.
Parker picked up the foul, I believe, her second.
So two shots here for Ashley Onaka. Ashley misses the first one. Again, she's a junior out of a place Ken and I would like to go, Blackman's Bay, Tasmania.
There you go.
And missed both free throws.
Maybe they don't shoot free throws in Tasmania.
I guess not. Less than 3 minutes to play. Looks like Benedictine, barring a miracle here, is going to move their record to 2-1. They'll be tied with the Vikings in conference play. But don't count this Viking team out there. They're a very hustling, scrappy team. But it's going to take quite a comeback against this veteran Benedictine team. Taft backs it out against the zone. Goes to the right wing, now gets it on the right side. Deep three by Murphy. This one hit the top of the backboard, misses. Rebound Enlow. Vikes need to hurry. Enlow across the timeline to Augusto. Andressa launches a three. This one comes up a little bit short. And this just has not been the night for Andressa Augusto.
Nope.
Now they say the ball knocked out of bounds, and I think it went off of the Vikings out of bounds. So Benedictine will get the ball with 2:14 left to play. Vikings will set up the full court press.
We do have a couple scores in now.
Do you?
CMU over Culver, 83-58.
So they're 3-0 right now.
Peru knocked off Graceland, 103-75, and Mid-America over Avila, 71-60.
So Mid-America and Central Methodist still undefeated. 2 minutes left to play in the game. It's a 16-point Benedictine lead. Into Rutledge now. Guess who's on the floor? Deidre McCoy on the floor one more time. Gets down low and ties up Shayla Rutledge. Boy, what hustle.
And what do they call? They call foul? They're going to call foul.
Did they? Well, I thought they called a jump ball, but I guess they did call a foul.
Yes, Ballman fouled out of the game.
Foul, so that's it for Ballman. They say she fouled McCoy. And Deidre drew that foul lying on her back.
Well, I guess, I'll keep track of that Saturday. I may be in double digits if I start keeping track right now. This game. She has 13 points. At least I have her 13.
Do you think she sleeps well at night?
She's tired after a game. She gives it her all.
Deidre's first free throw good, so she continues to knock down free throws. I've got her at 4 out of 5 on the game. 14 points in the game. McCoy will try to make it 15 if she can knock down this second free throw, which she does. So nice job by Deidre. And now Lacey Murray comes into the lineup for the first time for the Vikings. We've got a timeout on the floor. And let's check where Lacey hails from. Lacey Murray's a junior out of Rogers, Arkansas. So she comes in. Maddie Murphy also gets set to check back in for the Vikings.
So as you mentioned, with those scores, Mid-America now 3-0 in conference play. CMU 3-0. The Vikings will just be 2-1.
Yep.
Benedictine to go to 2-1. We don't have a Baker score yet. Culver lost today, so they're 1-2. They lost at CMU. We don't have Grandview, William Penn, or Evangel. Avila lost. They're 0-3 in conference play. Graceland, they lost at Peru again, so they fall to 0-3. And Peru, their first win, 1-2.
I think Culver Stockton's played 3 games. They're 1-2, but they've played Mid-America, Benedictine, and now Central Methodist. So they played three of the front runners in the conference.
3 of the front runners. We'll see them won't see them until I think it's the second or third week of January. We have 3 games in 1 week. I think we have Avila here on a Monday, and then we go there on Thursday.
It's a Thursday. Yeah, one of the few Thursday games we have.
Somewhere else on Saturday.
Hope it's not Peru.
It could be. It could be.
I think we go to Peru right after the first of the year.
It's one of those. It's one of those weeks I've looked at and said, "Oh boy, here we go."
Okay, it'll be Benedictine ball. 1:54 left to play. They lead it by 14. So Vikes need a steal right here. Now the Ravens once again do a pretty good job breaking the press. Good press by the Vikings, but Benedictine does a good job breaking it. And now the Ravens of Coach Chad Folsom will try to run some clock. Coach Tim Dixon trying to get his team to speed up the defense a little bit. Down to 8 on the shot clock. There's no hurry to shoot here. Now Taft down to the baseline. They get it to Murphy, and Murphy lays it in. Boy, what a great job of shot clock management that time. They run it all the way down to 2 seconds. Kristen Murphy hits a layup.
Perfect possession.
Now jumper by McCoy off the baseline. Deidre's shot misses. And Kramer brings it across for the Ravens. So the Vikings will fall to 2-1 in conference play. Still one of the top teams in the conference. Need to go out to Baker and get a win on Saturday. Now good play by Lacey Murray as she knocks the ball away from Rutledge. But again, Benedictine going to run that shot clock down as far as they can. Now Villegas takes a 3. Missed this one. But Rutledge gets the offensive rebound for the Ravens.
Yep. Just too many offensive rebounds.
Under a minute to play. 68-52.
I think we'll see the rebounding stat, and it'll be a big difference.
Now they're going to run, once again, Benedictine runs that shot clock down. I mean, in the first half, I don't think they take more than 4 or 5 seconds in a possession before they launch the 3. There's one by Kramer, just ahead of the shot clock buzzer. Missed it. Murphy got the rebound. Her shot misses. And now yet another offensive rebound, I believe, by the Ravens.
Yeah, they've just pounded the boards on the offensive glass, and that's been a big key to this game tonight, plus a 24-point first quarter.
Yeah. That foul comes up on Deidre McCoy. That's her third, but that's academic right now as we're down under 10 seconds to play in the game. As Lexi Villegas knocks down her first free throw, she'll have one more. Give her 9 points in the game. She can go into double figures if she can knock down this second charity toss with 8.3 seconds left.
Lacey Murray was in the game. She comes out. Raina Smith back in.
Villegas missed it. Raina gets the rebound. Vikes should get one more shot. Augusto launches it off the left wing, misses. And Benedictine comes into Marshall. And the Ravens get a big road win as they knock off the Vikings. They lead it from wire to wire. And they knock off the Vikings by the score of 69-52.
Wow, you think about that. The Vikings averaging over 80 points a game, held to 52 points. And they didn't do that bad on offense. Our defense giving up just 69, but wow. It just, a game that was really, in all honesty, controlled start to finish. Vikings did cut it to 5 in the third quarter, but then an 11-0 run, and the Vikings never got it back within
I think if you talk about the big moment of the game, it had to be those 3 back-to-back threes by Benedictine to take a 5-point game and make it an 11-point game.
All right, we're going to get Tim Dixon to come in just for a couple of moments and talk about this one before we wrap things up. 69-52 is the final score as Benedictine. They went to the three-point shot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12, unofficially 12 three-point field goals. Now the Vikings held Shayla Rutledge to just 5 points tonight. But, boy, the three-point shooting was something else for this Benedictine team. I had them with 12 three-pointers, and Tim sits down for a minute. And Tim, I know a lot of things you'll be disappointed about tonight. Probably the first thing would be rebounding, I would guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to think about it. You know, we just miss shots. You know, we miss too many shots that normally we make. And so hats off to Benedictine. I mean, they did a good job defensively and made us rush. And I don't know if rebounding necessarily was a difference, but I don't know what the rebounding advantage was. They only had us by 6 at half, and so, you know, who knows. But again, I think it's more shot selection that really killed us more than anything.
You held Shayla Rutledge to 5 points, and that was the goal. But, boy, her teammates, especially in that first half, that first quarter, 24-point first quarter, they were unconscious shooting the ball in that first quarter.
Yeah, and it's hard to climb out of a hole when you get down like that. But, you know, again, hats off to them. They played great, and hopefully we can learn from this and move on and prepare for Saturday. And you know, the rematch is going to be a good rematch. I think we won't shoot as bad. I mean, you know, we can't shoot any worse. I'm betting we shot probably be 30%.
I think 23. You're 23% at the half. So
yeah, I mean, we didn't shoot much better in the second half. So you know, I mean, that's just well below our average. I mean, and it is what it is, and a lot of it credit has to go to Benedictine the way they played, and hopefully we'll learn from it and move on.
Well, you had to like that second half. You got back within 5. Right there, and then they went on an 11-0 run, and that was it. But it's really tough to come back against a good team.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Yeah, you know, when we got to 5, we just had 2 possessions there. We had good shots; they just didn't go in, and then they went on a run, and I had to burn a timeout. So, you know, but the thing is, it's funny. Normally, a team will come down, they'll hit a 2, and they'll hit another 2, but you know, they hit. I think 3 threes and then a 2, and you know, again, someone else doesn't take those shots, you know. But good shooting team. We knew that coming in, and you know, we just got to learn from it and move on. And the great thing about this is, to be honest, is we're a better team than this and what we showed, and you know, I'm still happy about this group, and we're going to make some noise in the conference.
All right, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you Saturday.
Appreciate it, and thanks for doing our games, and hopefully we'll do a lot better on Saturday.
All right, we'll be there Saturday in Baldwin City, a 2 o'clock game as the Vikings will take on the Wildcats of Baker. Well, Joe, let's go over the scoring here of the first half, and then we'll have to get out of here. We'll give you all the statistics of this ball game at the half. Unofficially, I had Deidre McCoy with 15 points to lead the Vikings. Kiana Horton, I had her with 13. Augusto just had 3. She had that early 3-pointer. That was it. Ward ended up, I believe, with 6 points. 3 for Raina Smith. Savannah Enlow had 3. Alicia Winston just had a couple of points. And let's see, Denny had 6, all in the first half. Maddie Murphy had a point. And I think that was about it. Let's take a look at Benedictine scoring. Serena Parker was up there. Rutledge only had 5 points. 9 for Jordan Kramer, all from the outside. I had 6 for Murphy. Villegas had 9. 12 points for Allie Taft, the final point guard out of St. Joe. Thomas had 4 off the free throw line. 11 for Beard, 3 3-pointers. And I had 11 points for Serena Parker. So that is what we had as far as the scoring. And again, the final score tonight, 69 to 52. So the Vikings go to 2-1. Benedictine also 2-1. And let's see, real quickly before we take a break, rebounding, that wasn't that bad, 31 to 27, but 17 offensive rebounds. 17 of those rebounds offensive for Benedictine. That's pretty much a key.
Yeah, I really thought they did a good job pounding the boards, and getting 17 offensive rebounds. They just a lot of second, third chances in there, and Benedictine was hot for most of the game. They really cooled off in that second quarter, but they hit some big threes, had a great first quarter, hit some big threes in the second half when they had to, and a tough loss, but give Benedictine credit. They played a good game. This Viking team still 2-1 in conference play, right in the middle of the mix. Need to go out to Baldwin City and try to get a win against a good Baker team on Saturday.
All right, so we're going to take a break. Men's game coming up in about 18 minutes, so we'll get the coaches. We'll have the other scores for you. we still have basketball. So Joe and I will be back in about 15 minutes for the men's game. The Benedictine Ravens against the Vikings on the Viking Sports Network. We're back in about 15 minutes.